If you were trapped in one of the most deadliest obstacle courses known to man, and your struggle was broadcast to thousands of sadistic perverts on the deep web, what would you do? When we go over this never-before-aired episode of Takeshi's Castle, we're gonna break down the best courses of action to take and what to do. These girls have been kidnapped on Halloween night and are being forced to play in one of the most gruelingly hard and deadly obstacle courses ever conceived. They start off in what looks like a scale-up children's bedroom, and there's a door that leads outside. Obviously not to the real outside, that's far off, but we aren't getting any closer to escaping if we wallow in here. There's porn on the walls, and maybe some post-nut clarity will help us get through this obstacle course. Well, these are girls, so post-gush? Post-squirt? Women's anatomical flexibility aside, the first task we're faced with is a spiked floor. As explained in the video detailing how to beat the previous installment, the best method to avoid getting killed is to run for a bit and to take off with our dominant foot. Succeeding that, there's a group of 4 chainsaws sticking out from the walls, and these look high above the ground enough to where we can crawl under them. The average height of an American high school girl, that's 16 to 17 years of age, and yes, we're just assuming it's America, is 5'4", which is 162 centimeters for the rest of the world, except when Canadians weigh their produce for some reason. Anyway, we could use our feet to push ourselves forward and use our arms to bring ourselves to where we need to be incrementally. She then comes across 3 circular saws protruding out from the walls, and again, we can definitely crawl under these ones, but as a precaution, we should try to minimize the number of times we put our head up as to lessen the risk of getting cut. She then comes across a platform moving forwards and backwards over a pit of barbed wire in a room with wallpaper that looks like the pattern of a cartoon character's underwear. No other way to get past this besides stepping on it and having it take us to where we need to go. We'd suggest kneeling or crouching to keep our center of gravity firmly in the middle of the platform, and then slowly getting up as we prepare for the jump. Subsequently, she arrives at a group of 3 swinging chainsaws. Along with buying stock and still, the optimum route we should take is to crawl under the chainsaws again. No wonder Puppet Combo didn't give us the option to prone. After that, there's a group of 3 circular saws next to each other above a massive pit in the floor. Christ, I'd give anything to be a majority shareholder in Lowe's. There's again no other method we could think of besides jumping across. There's also parkouring across by pushing ourselves on and bouncing off the wall, but it takes experience and the skill to pull even something as simple as that off, and if we're not careful enough, we could actually launch ourselves into the blades. Besides getting cut up brutally, you'd make yourself look like a total idiot to the pleasure of thousands of sick lunatics on the browser. People use even when they're skeptical of VPN companies. Then there's some edgy footage of plants that involves changing colors. Also, there are notes from previous victims scattered throughout the obstacle course in the form of floppy disks, but the ones that aren't floppy. For the next trap, there's something pretty creative. It's 2 columns of 4 sets of 3 swinging chainsaws right next to each other, and there's no crouching under these. Sorry people, but our one failsafe for this entire series needs to be tossed out for this one trap. These aren't swinging too fast, so we should carefully mind where we are and make sure we don't get sandwiched. Then she comes across a room where there's what looks like a cow and deer encased in glass. Yeah, those are just there. We should collect all the human hearts, I guess. We can then proceed to a series of wooden planks above a barbed wire pit with circular saws hanging over the planks and spinning. And we're really concerned about the climate, knowing how many trees are being chopped down just to entertain a bunch of sickos. Anyway, it's truly insane how many of these traps won't affect us if we just duck underneath the blades. There's then a set of 2 moving platforms above a pit of barbed wire, but the thing here is we need to jump to the second platform because they're not directly connected together, so a simple hop would do us justice so long as we maintain our balance. After that, there's some more footage of plants changing colors. Then there's 2 nail guns put right next to each other, shooting nails, and we can either crouch or prone under the nails to undermine our risk of getting killed. Then there may be 12 nail guns aligned perpendicularly, and the optimum strategy is to crouch or to adopt a more risky strategy and to run in a narrow gap in which the nails aren't getting into. After that, she'll come to a large room where 4 columns of 3 chainsaws on 4 sides with switches behind them, and we need to push all 4 of them to open up the exit. Also, the maniac jumps you at the last minute, but fortunately for us, he won't chase us back on our way around because otherwise there'd be no way out. But what do you think? How would you beat Buzzsaw Bloodhouse 2.2.1? Let us know with a comment down below.